Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this week's episode. We want to promote where you can see us. For tickets, go to joegattoofficial.com to see all my tour dates. And for Steve's, go to punchup.live/Steve-Byrne. That's Byrne. He makes it super easy to find him. And now, on to the episode.
There was a problem, yo, I saw. Word to your mother.
Great. I'll wait till you finish this yawn to get started.
3, 2.
Let's keep the yawn in. Hey, everybody. It's Joe Gatto, one of your favorite two cool moms. And I'm here with...
Steve Byrne, the other cool mom.
Yes, here he is. Oh,
I'm so excited to be here.
Stevie's sleepy, Stevie.
I'm here.
Stevie's got it tough. Tell him why. What happened with your travel day today?
What's
you
that?
woke up, your travel day. Tell him why it was so tough this morning. You
Well-
got out of bed at what time? 4 a.m.?
2 days in a row, I always take the first flight out.
Yes, always. They say that about him. They call him Stevie First Flights.
So my flight's at 6. I get up at 4. And then I got home and, went right to my daughter's soccer game, my son's birthday party.
Look at you.
And then watched the Steelers crush.
There you go.
And
They
then,
beat the Dolphins.
the Russian Bears.
The Russian Bears
Yeah.
they beat.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Your favorite
They
team.
beat the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Known for Ditka. Also known for being from Chicago. They were
we go.
from Chicago.
Please.
Three things I know about the Chicago Bears. 1, Ditka. 2, Chicago. 3, colors
called-
are gold and black. No.
Wow.
Is that right?
Wow. You are a mathlete.
Is that right?
Black and gold is Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, right.
Chicago, it's orange and blue.
Orange and blue.
And
that's
white.
right.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears, their main guy who throws the ball.
Quarterback.
Yep, that's him. His name is?
I have no idea who the
Who's the Chicago Bear guy? We know
current
him.
right now.
No, the Pittsburgh Steeler guy who throws the football.
Russell Wilson or Justin Fields.
No, Justin
The
Fields.
quarterback.
Justin Fields.
Yeah. Played in Chicago, and now he's with Pittsburgh.
That's not who I'm thinking.
It was. I think you're
Jim McMahon?
trying to talk about a guy who I think got cut last year.
Yeah, what's his name?
Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Joe.
Kenny Pickett got cut?
He's out, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Do you have
right.
any idea? What are you talking about?
I know Kenny Pickett.
How do you know Kenny Pickett?
He went to high school in Jersey, Ocean Township High School, and then he went
making
on
this
to
up?
play football. No, he went on to play football, and then we befriended him. He went to the University of Go Fuck Yourself. I don't know where he went to.
Pitt.
Pittsburgh.
He went to Pitt.
Oh, he went to Pitt.
Yeah.
and that's why he ended up at Pittsburgh.
And then
And they got
Pittsburgh
Cutsburg.
drafted him. And now he's in Philly.
Timeout. That's how I know him. I know him because he went to Philly, and he plays in Philly. Now he's a Philly quarterback
Yes.
currently. You're
that?
the one with the computer in front of you.
I know.
Yeah, it's his second year. Is that what you said?
Second string. He played for like 10 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
He had a great 10 minutes yesterday. Is what
But
I'm
you met
saying.
him in Philly?
I know him because he went through the school system in Ocean Township, where my cousin is a teacher.
Okay.
Mike Polano was his teacher. And then we used to talk to each other. Me and Michael, I used to talk to his classes
About young boys, yes.
I
remember that.
No, he does TV. He does film production. That's the teaching class. The
Right.
class he teaches, TV production.
Yeah,
So
most
I was on
guys
the
that are
TV
in
show.
this rings work in the industry, yes.
So
yes.
I was in. You know what? Let's start the whole episode over. I don't like any of this energy you're bringing at me. You're clearly tired.
Come on.
So what I was saying was Kenny Pickett play for the Miami Dolphins.
He's with the Eagles.
He's with the Eagles.
He's with the Eagles,
Go
yeah.
Eagles, Philadelphia.
There you go.
Born and raised.
We figured it out. He's not born. No, what are you talking about?
In the playgrounds where he spent most of his days. He had a Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
They're green and white. I know this. And
Yes.
they played the Giants yesterday, and famously they lost 28-38.
There you go.
28-3 is even worse.
What?
I don't know much about sports, but I do know this.
Oh, please.
An eagle's a bird.
What is your greatest sporting event that you've ever been to? Because I know you don't follow sports, but given the nature of your celebrity status,
The Garden, Game 7, New York Rangers versus the Houston Astros.
Okay.
I don't know who that team was. I don't know who they were playing. This was about.
This is ridiculous. Okay.
This is year 2 maybe of Jokers. I went to the game 7. The Rangers were playing against somebody, and I remember when the Rangers scored a puck in the basket. The place,
I can't even do this anymore.
The place went nuts, and I was like, "Wow!" The roof almost went crazy off this thing. Fast forward, years later, me and the boys are playing the Garden, the same Garden where the New York Rangers play.
Yes,
and we walked out, and the applause were thunderous, and I was like, "It sounds like we just scored a goal at the Rangers."
Okay, you're just tying it all
together.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
No, I do remember that was one of the biggest games and biggest moments I've ever heard in sports. We were doing promo or something, and I was on the top level. We were just going around and doing all and they scored, and I remember the place going absolutely nuts, and I was like, "This place feels like it was going to explode."
Yeah,
that was one of the biggest moments in a sporting event I think I've ever been to.
So you never been to a Yankee game?
I've been to a Yankee game. Yeah, I've been to.
But Yankee Stadium's loud.
Yeah, sometimes.
The Garden's loud.
Gardens gets loud. Knicks, they play basketball. Yeah. Yeah, they play. I was on the sideline at the Knicks, wanted a charity event. Me and my nephew went.
Okay.
And I sat. That was at the Barclays. That wasn't that.
Giants, Jets?
Giants and
never
Jets.
Been?
They're both football teams out of New York here. Yeah.
You never been?
I've been to both. Been to a Knicks game, been to a Giants game, been to a Jets game, been to a Yankees game, been to a Mets game. Rest in
Ranger
peace, they
game.
just lost. I've been to a Ranger game. I've
Okay,
been to an
of all
Islanders.
those-
I haven't. Islanders. I haven't.
All those sporting events, what was your favorite that you could enjoy?
I would say the football games.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You're outside.
That's it.
It's nice out. Nice fall day. See the pigskin getting thrown back and forth. The fellas are hitting each other. I will say my best football experience, hands down. My best, I would say, was I got when I went to SoFi Field.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
where
the Rams,
That's
right?
No, the Chargers. You idiot. I can't believe you know nothing about sports. The Chargers, the Los Angeles
You guys were on
Chargers.
the on Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
Remember watching it?
me and Mark did fake talking to each other as the camera panned to us on a Monday Night Football.
It honestly looked like you guys were doing an undercover drug deal because you were both looking down for some reason, talking to each other, and I was like, "Are they going to pass?"
Because
a
the
bag
guy
of-
said to us, he goes, "Hey, you're going to be on camera. Just don't look at the camera." So me and Mark were like, "Hey, let's just fake talk." And we're like, "Oh, blah, 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 blah," to
Why
each
wouldn't you
other.
look at the camera? That's what
said
everybody
not to.
does, and
Don't
go
look,
you go
yeah.
crazy.
The guy said, "Don't look to us."
He was like an old like Monday Night Football. He was like 80 years old. He's filming us, and we're like pointing at stuff at the end zone. We also have no idea what's going on. And then after he's done, he goes, "Congratulations, you were just on Monday Night Football."
Yes. Like I was like, I
Pretty
finally
great.
made it on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, our boy Justin Herbert. Shout out to him. Love him.
I did the at the Vegas Golden Knights recently.
Oh yes.
They have the air horn. So-
The siren.
So they do the siren before the periods, and like, all right, you just grab the handle and just crank it, and the louder you crank it, the louder it gets. I go, oh, okay, and I'm like, well, I'm a comedian. Do I take this seriously, or do I kind of goof or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And so I got on it, and I started doing it, and the place is going nuts, and I pretend like I'm like
Climaxing.
and my buddy works for them in the TV production, whatever. He's like, I never saw them cut away from their celebrity so quick. They cut away from you the quickest I've ever seen. But he gave me the raw thing, so I have it, and I'm just like,
Because you climax too quickly. It's like it's over. It's over. Do you enjoy Pittsburgh is your city, right? You like the Pittsburgh Pirates, you like the Pittsburgh Penguins, and you like the Steelers.
Yeah.
So you're all Pittsburgh all the time.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So
But I mean, you travel. I
But
just
now you
I
live in
get hats.
Nashville.
I got like Oaken.
So if the Raptors are playing,
who the Toronto Raptors? the Toronto, they're not even in this country. Yes.
the Raptors aren't even in this country. Are you sure
No.
about that? It's the Nashville what? Penguins? No, Nashville. Don't tell me. Nashville Knights. That's what it should be. It's not. But it's called the Nashville Thunder.
Predators.
Predators. That's weird. Okay, I'm not a sports guy, but to name your team the Predators
Well,
is
20 years
fucking
ago-
weird,
20
dude.
years ago-
No, 20 years ago, you had to get rid of the Indians. They can keep the Predators. They have to lose the Indians, but they keep the Predators. And that's the problem with sports.
Well, they're renaming it to the Nashville Kevin Spacey.
Oh, here he goes.
What?
This episode's going to be 4 minutes long. That was a very funny joke, actually. I like that. Okay, we'll keep that one. We'll give you that one.
Oh, I get one.
You get one.
We should do a supercut episode where it's all the things you take out that are
we
genuinely.
can't. We're on iHeart now. We can't do that anymore.
We'll put it on YouTube.
Okay.
But just all the jokes I put in that get cut out.
The good ones, or
Yeah, all of them.
okay, so
There's some gems in there.
30-second clip. I think we can sparse it together from 80
Every
episodes.
time I say a joke like that, I just see you rub your temples like I spilled my milk at the dinner table.
Well, we have to have brand protection.
Oh, who?
Mine. You don't have a brand. You don't have a brand out here. I love you.
All right. Okay. My apologies.
No, it's
no
great.
more Kevin
So
Spacey
I didn't
jokes.
know when you were younger, your dad took you to Pittsburgh's games. My dad, did your dad take you to games like in the stadiums? and
Yeah,
whatnot?
yeah.
My dad never did that. So my dad wasn't really.
Well, your dad was dead.
He was dead. It's
Yeah.
a fair point. They wouldn't let me
can't.
bring the skeleton into the stadium. I'd be like +1.
Where can I put the urn?
Excuse me. I mean, the urn are like.
But it was just the ghost going.
Goes go. Ooh. I'm like, watch, my dad does a great siren. But my dad was alive when I was younger, like in the
Sure.
taking the sports age bracket.
But he never followed.
He didn't like baseball. He wasn't a big baseball guy.
Really?
He liked the Giants were his team.
Okay.
And I did go to a couple games with him. But he wasn't like, I think you have dads that are like that go to the sport, right? You're big in the Boston area, right?
Right.
Mark, you did the sports in the
I did the sports, but that's like the bonding. Some parents do it as a bonding thing, I think.
So my dad didn't love me.
It was a love issue, basically.
Father was a love issue.
Yeah, my dad my father hugged me all the time and said, "I'm proud of you." And just I don't know, it's just like
Just came to the
just normal
realization,
for me.
my
But
father never
what was it
loved
like for you? Well, so did he ever pat you on the back or
No. It was never good enough. Let's get to the questions, I guess. Hey, I have a question. Why didn't you love me, Dad? So stupid. No, my dad loved me very much, and I was a magician. I was an amateur magician. That's what he loved about me.
no?
Yeah, I did
He
amateur.
couldn't have been proud of that.
Definitely not. Definitely not. My dad was a 6'3" tight end. I was his only son. 5'9" flabby middle.
Pick a card, any card.
He even wrote. I have one letter from my father, my dead father, and I kept it. It was a note that he wrote about all this stuff that he was proud of me. I did this thing in high
Did the
school.
note say, "Watch me disappear"?
Man, I made my father disappear. That was my greatest trick. Ta-da! He wrote. He even takes a jab to me in the letter. So in the letter, he's talking about how much he loves me. Thanks, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you. Such a good guy.
Wait, how
good boy.
old are you at the time?
I'm 8. I'm 14. I'm in school. I'm in high school.
Why did he write the letter? Just curious.
Because I was on this thing called the retreat team, which was a team that you helped. It was like an orientation team for the new kids that came in, the new freshmen stuff, and you taught them about like good ways to good
up?
morals. Yeah, ways to give up. No, like morals and things like that. It was called the retreat team. So you go on this retreat,
Right.
and the teacher, unbeknownst to you, goes to everybody in your life and gets them to write a letter about you. So you have it as a keepsake, which I didn't know I would need 4 years later when my dad fucking kicked it.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, wow.
So I have this, and in the letter, he takes a jab at me about the magic tricks. It's so funny.
No.
He's like, "Hey, I love you. I know you're a good kid, even though with your dumb card tricks." It's in the letter. Yeah, it's so funny. He couldn't help it.
That's where you get it from.
That's it for sure. But I was an amateur magician. I don't think he was proud of that. I think that's why he died. He was like, "This is bad out the way."
Oh my
I'm out. I was the only son. He has 2 older daughters. My sister was a star basketball player.
Yeah.
Gina, my oldest sister, crushed it, and then gave up on her dreams because when she went to college, she didn't want to play in a collegiate level
Why?
because she fucking didn't have any confidence in herself. No, she was good at accounting. She wanted to concentrate on her. She wanted to concentrate on her
Accounting?
Yeah, accounting
In college?
which is weird, right?
Yeah. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think you're supposed to. She went to Hofstra out on Long Island.
Very
And she
good
was
college.
in college, and she didn't want to play college ball. My sister Carla was a cheerleader, and then she ended up crushing it on the kick line team,
Yeah.
where she met the love of her life, Vinny, Big Vin, who you know,
course.
who was offensive lineman.
Yes.
Marriage made in heaven.
And then little Joseph, was just a small town kid who was really good at.
Sleight of hand.
No. He was a welder by day, but dancer by night. and had a lot of dreams.
I was a dancer by night. On a dance floor, that's where I shined. And they couldn't understand. I pulled the water and just, it was called Fat Dance. And if you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. Yeah, I guess that's right. So my dad did love me, we could say. That's the takeaway.
Of course he loved you. Yeah.
You don't know. You didn't know him. Don't fucking say of course like you knew him.
Well, it sounds, everything you've told me in the past always sounds like he did.
Yeah, I would say he did.
Yeah.
Even if it's lies, you don't know. I'm not going to go around saying. You can't ask him. I'm not going to go around and be like,
Joe, you don't believe this. We have a Ouija board.
We're
We're going to talk to him today.
Does your son know you love him
Oh, beyond.
more than your daughter?
Oh my God, Joe.
We can cut that together now.
No, that's always. I mean, look, you're a father. That's always the thing, right? But it's like, no, I love you guys equally, 100%, absolutely.
We get all the time the questions. My daughter's always like, my daughter stopped asking because I think she thinks it's her.
Yeah.
So she's always like, she used to be like,
She knows.
I know. She was like, do you love me more than Remo? Like she would say that all the time. And now she stopped asking because I think she thinks she knows that I do.
Right.
But we were just on the road. They came on the road with me and it was just the three of us. We went to, in Oklahoma City, they have this amazing science museum. And I was like, well, I had to find something to do with them. We were in OKC. We had about half a day until we had to meet everybody. I was like, all right, let's go check this out. It was phenomenal. And to watch my two kids to see what they gravitated towards completely differently was so interesting. My son was all about the science stuff. My daughter was all about they had this whole activity section where you like climbed walls and did all that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And I just watched them crush it in their own specific areas. And I was like, that's so fun to see my personality in two different ways.
Your kids are two I think your son is the cerebral aspect of you,
for sure.
very, very math inclined. I remember last time we were hanging out at one of your book signings, one of the professors at the university was doing math drills with him and he was acing it.
Yes, she was blown away. That's right.
I was like, wow. And he's really, you could just tell, very sweet, but a little more recluse, kind of like very observant. For sure. Right? He's taking it all in. And your daughter's just the most outgoing, so fun, just a great smile and, no inhibitions. How you doing? What are you up to today?
Crazy.
Just like,
talks to strangers. It's a problem, actually. But no, like she gets in there, mixes it up. Yeah. So I have both of them. And yours are the same way, though, I would think. Your son is very smart like your wife, right? And your daughter is very outgoing like her father. Right? That's what you would say.
That's what I would say.
No, in
my
your
son
relationship,
is smart like my wife. I'm done.
No, in your relationship, your wife is smarter than you.
My wife is smarter than me.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
that's okay. You have a confidence to say that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying anything you haven't said out loud or the world knows. By meeting the two of you. And she still picked you.
She's
she's smart and she picked you.
She's the best.
Guys, see, you have to.
Thank you. I'm a shithead. I'm dumb as fuck.
That's the clip. I'm glad that you found your hands together. No, I'm not saying you're dumb, but I'm saying that your wife is very, it's funny to see very vividly the difference between your kids. I see that but your son does have your sense of humor.
He is. The other day, this is just yesterday, we're driving, and I always have my son FaceTime my parents when we're driving. I'm like,
because there's going to be a time they can't.
Well, it's true. And it is true. I mean,
real quick interjection. We're at the OKC thing, and there's an exhibit with skeletons, and I flip on the video, and into the group chat, I drop a video like, "Hey guys, it's so great that the kids can go on field trips with their grandparents."
Oh my god!
And my daughter is dancing with a skeleton. Sorry, God. Back to you.
Serious?
Sorry, God. So funny.
My son, he
FaceTimes your grandparents.
He goes, because my dad's bald, he's got like the
two landing strips on the side.
Yeah. And my son is just being a kid. He's like, so do you wash your hair? It's like, yeah, I wash my hair like the hair I have. Yeah, of course I wash it. He's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, when did you go bald? And my father's like, I guess in my 30s, I went bald. And my son's like, oh, okay. And then my grandma started talking, and she was talking about something, and my grandfather goes, I know what you're thinking, Kent. Boring. And then Kent goes, no, when you talk, I just hear balding. I was like, oh my God.
Wow, that's great.
And I
Lost
was
it.
dying laughing. My father's got a great sense of humor, dying laughing. And you could just see he knows he's got it. So he's totally enjoying it. Totally
That's
enjoying
so-
it.
that's
Very
so good.
Quick-witted. Very.
To see him come up with that.
I remember the
is like-
first time I noticed he had, I mean, you're great at pulling things out of the ether.
Yep.
Just all the time with music, everything. But we went to Dave & Buster's one time. He got all these tickets and he got this huge teddy bear. He walks out and my daughter goes, my God, Ken, it's the biggest teddy bear I've ever seen. He goes, I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. I was like, wow, that's a great pull. That's a great pull.
I love that.
Yeah, great kid. Both of them.
Both of
very,
them.
very
I
proud
think
of
we
them.
both did well with our offspring.
Yes.
The fountains they came from are definitely rusty, but the children
We're
we've
very
sprouted,
lucky
we are
guys
very
to
lucky.
have the wives we do because we travel as much as we do.
They brought some stuff to the gene pool too. Let's talk about it, right? Thank
Yes.
goodness. Thank God my daughter looks like her mother. Oh, could you imagine that schnoz on that fucking woman? That poor daughter walking around. Hi, I'm so brave and funny.
When you,
like the
when
doc-
you lie down in Central Park, I can tell what time it is.
Yeah, I'm the only guy that can smoke in the shower. Because he's got a big nose.
But your nose, it
goes with my face.
It goes with your face. It's not like there was a girl I remember I dated this girl once and she
Yowza.
she always had her hair down, right?
Over her nose.
No,
A nose part. There's a cousin it. It's a girl from the Ring, and she just got a nose. It comes through the curtains.
Just her hair would part and I just feed her. but this girl I dated, I can't say her name, but she had I remember one time she pulled her hair back behind her and this fucking ear
Oh,
was
she had satellite radio.
huge ears.
Yeah.
And I just went to take her hair and pull it back. I was like, let's draw the curtains again. I dated her like for
Why'd you
2 or 3
say with
months.
us so long? She was such a great listener. All right.
I can't hear you. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Pull your hair back.
Why? You picking up the traffic on 42nd Street?
Okay, let's get into
Let's get
to it. Okay,
All right.
sorry.
So it's two cool moms, and we try to help people because
She's a
we're
great
fun.
listener.
She's a great listener. We're great listeners.
We're great listeners, and we're here to help you. Obviously, send us your queries, your issues, twocoolmomspod@gmail.com or at twocoolmomspodcast or twocoolmomspod at Instagram.
Yep.
And now you could use the iHeart app.
Yeah.
And you could send us your questions with
Use
the
the
iHeart
talkback
app.
feature on the iHeart
That's right.
radio app, and you could send it in, and those will hear you. We'll hear you with your mouth. You'll be able to talk to us.
And we'll hear you, and we'll have you on the show.
There you go. Great. You did great with that. Nailed it.
And I'll also be looking for a job.
Right. So we've just hit a button, and then Mark goes away. Mark, you talk like we pay you.
I'm losing money. Suzanne hits us up. She goes, "Hey, moms, this is hit us up on the Instagram. My friend." So this is not Suzanne. So she says, "My friend has been with her. I know.
scandalous.
Well, you never know. My friend has been with her partner for almost 25 years, and the relationship is, for the most part, a good one. She follows a male dance team online." I was gonna stay serious, but
Okay.
She follows a male dance team.
I don't know even what that means.
The Magic Mikes.
She follows a male dance team online, and her boyfriend is very jealous of them. He doesn't like her doing it and would like her to stop. See, now you got me. But she should have the right to do whatever she wants, right? I think he regards them as some sort of way, as if she is cheating on him. A little motherly advice would be most helpful.
I think I have no problem with this whatsoever. I have no problem with it whatsoever. I think she's a human being.
None.
She's going to see things that are appealing to her.
Sure.
And I think it's healthy. I think it's a healthy dynamic.
It's
as
all
long as she
stemming
doesn't
from-
act on it.
Right.
You know, as long as she's not, the videos with the whipped cream and the sheet or whatever. Like, as long as she's not going there and going crazy, which I don't assume she would.
Yeah, your feed is your feed. I think that just stems from insecurity. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't be insecure about who cares what people follow on social media? And
Yeah.
if you think that's cheating, that's not. That stuff is, if there's an issue that's just watering a seed of insecurity you have, then you
Yeah.
need to talk about that. It's not about why are you following them. It's like, why do you feel insecure?
Yeah.
Are they doing something else that's making you feel that way? So that's what you need to get down to the root of.
It's funny, this like comes up because my wife literally, we're at lunch and she goes, "Can I tell you something?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. You can tell me anything you want." She's like, I was sent a picture by somebody I don't even know. I was like, "Oh, okay." And she described it was
I'm sorry, I didn't want to say it was an accident. They're right next to the phone in the phone.
but it was a dick pic, right? Sent by a black dude, and sent it to her, and she's like, I just felt uncomfortable. Obviously, I didn't know the number. I don't know who this is, but I just wanted to tell
Please
you.
tell me you replied.
And I was like, no, Jess, I really appreciate that you like would be honest with me and open and tell that to me, but next time, please just send it to me. Yeah. Because I was like, of course you're going to make a joke about it, but it's like, I just think like stuff like that, it just like, even if, who knows? I just think it's somewhat healthy and, like everybody's got their feeds or whatever, but it was interesting because I think a while back, my wife and I were discussing each other's feeds and what you're looking at or whatever. I was like, take my phone and just go to my Instagram and where you do the search bar, just
so
type in
fun.
anything you see what pops up my algorithm.
Yeah.
And my algorithm, Superman and Oasis.
There you go.
That's it.
Nothing to worry
it's
about.
Superman, Christopher Reeve, like all these like behind the scenes, and then it's all Oasis clips.
I'll say that there was a very funny SNL sketch about that where they wanted to look at each other's thing, and then the reason why they wanted to is they were all following this weird character, which was funny,
Right?
But they weren't worried about the girl thing, at all. But I would even say like to worry if your significant other is finding it disrespectful that you follow other people or
Right.
you're out, then that's something that you need to take consideration. What's more important, following this male dance team or upsetting your
What's the big deal?
or
They're
your
called
men?
Sparkle Motion, and they're really talented.
Watch how they crush this landing. I would say that's what you need to take in consideration. So if your friend, air quotes, if your friend is upsetting their partner by following this person,
Right.
what's more important, to follow the dance team or to not have an important
All male dancing.
or-
I look, I also understand it from the other. This is a guy though, right? But I had a friend who was dating a girl and she had an issue with a past relationship where the guy looked at a lot of porn, and it became a hindrance to them being intimate and physical with each other. So much so that she's like, look, we should see somebody. So they went and saw somebody, and this guy like had to get professional help to like wean himself away from it. So one day this girl is now in a new relationship with my friend. she goes, hey, we're going to this new place or this restaurant, let me put the directions in on your phone. So she goes to put the directions in, and she flips up and you just hear, gah, gah, gah. And some girl just like, she's like, oh my God. So she literally tells me, she's like, look, I was in a prior relationship, and look, just for me personally, I'd appreciate it if you would abstain from looking at that stuff because it kind of damaged me and I felt insecure about it, and I would just appreciate if you didn't do it. And he's like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. So they had a serious conversation.
You broke up 2 days later. 2 days later.
Like a week later.
Yeah, a week later.
She's like, hey, my phone's charging. Can I check something on your phone? He's like, yeah, check on your phone. He flips on it. And he's like, oh God.
Yeah.
And it didn't last long at all. But even that, like, I think there's a health dynamic to that. There's a healthy dynamic to all those things. But at the same time, I think it just...
She scrolls, and hitting the thing, and it's just videos of you ringing the siren. Oh, why are you watching that? Yeah.
Just a meme.
Look, at the end of the day, you're going to have to decide what's more important. Something that's important to you versus something that's upsetting your partner. And that's what relationships are about. So I think you just have to look at it from that perspective. Is it more important to you? Because we always go to the defensive. I know I'm this too. It's like, oh, why is this upsetting you? Well, the why doesn't matter as much as that they are upset. And I think that's a big growth part in a relationship, is to be able to be like, this is upsetting my partner. I shouldn't get defensive on why it is. I should figure out what's more important here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then talk it out. Look, if you want to stand your ground about something, then talk it out. Sure, talk it out. But it shouldn't be like, well, this is what, I think you need to come to it from a healthy angle. So,
yeah. What doesn't
is the
offend
male
you?
dance team? Do you need that male dance team in your feed as much as you need to keep your boyfriend, happy and secure? That's up to you to decide.
But it's also like, how great is your relationship, right?
Yeah.
And are you willing to like let that slide? Is that worth the fight?
Yes.
Or is that worth the argument? Or is your relationship that fractured?
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty big issue.
That's very true. And it just might be something it might be nice that this male dance team is not only bringing rhythm into your life, but it'll bring some balance. So let's, what'd you call him? Sparkle crotch?
Sparkle motion. I would honestly, I've never been to obviously one of those things. I would go for the funnies to just go.
It's an all male dance team.
Yeah, you're going a different direction than I thought.
It's not the fucking Thunder,
like Thunder
Down,
from
Under.
Down Under. I would go to laugh at that stuff.
No. Well,
I've
they would
heard
laugh
girls-
at you, buddy.
They would hysterically laugh at me. But anytime guys, but an all male dance team. What do you mean, like a dance squad?
Like a dance squad. I'm imagining like a collegiate dance
I'm
squad.
I'm thinking she's following Thunder from Down Under.
Oh, that's different. No.
They're not on a team though. They're very individualistic in their play. They play individually.
No, but they all come out together like the lightning bolt. I've seen the commercials.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The thunder comes out the wall.
Don't you have
thunder.
a residency in Vegas? Yeah, I'm sure you saw the commercials.
It's always on the
Steve's at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club, being like, "I gotta wrap this up, guys. I gotta go catch a show down the road."
Excuse me, does anybody think it's getting overcast in town?
Oh, here comes the thunder. Yeah, I think we answered that one.
That's great.
I hope.
I honestly think it's a exotic male dance. I don't think she's who's following a male. I've never even heard of a dance crew.
But you could have a
male
dance crew that maybe they're like.
Did you never
name
shirtless?
one male dance crew? Besides like a boy band.
Okay,
Tell me a boy
You
band.
just took out the biggest thing. That's like saying
then
maybe one
she'd
Asian
say a
instead
boy
of somebody
band.
who's Chinese.
She'd say a.
Like, that's what you're saying. That was so stupid.
No, she'd say a boy band.
No, I agree, but
they
an
don't
all
sing. They don't sing. This one. They
and
just
all
dance.
day. Did you ever see Step Up?
Who?
Back to the Streets, Stepping Up to the Streets. What was the one?
What are you talking about?
What was that big
Step
dance
Up.
movie? No, not Step Up. That's got Magic Mike in. That's got Charlize Theron. What's his name? What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? Who's the big Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
That's got Step Up is Channing Tatum. But what's the big dance movie? The Battle Dance movie, guys. The big one.
It's called Step Up.
No, it's not.
They have Step Up and they
Step
have
Up is
Step Up
Channing
2.
Tatum. No, the
No,
one
it
that's
isn't.
got.
No, you're thinking of the.
I am. You're right.
Yeah, Step Up is a film franchise about dance. It's a dance franchise.
Okay, here's
Step Up is what I'm thinking of.
Here's my point.
Yes.
If she's following like the Jabberwockies, is that what it's called?
Now that's a dance crew.
Yeah, it's but
That's
nobody
exactly right.
else knew it. I had to think for I'm like, what's a dude dance crew?
Jabberwockies.
Jabberwockies.
Okay, well if she's following that,
But what if
it's like,
she's
okay?
What if she likes one of the walkies?
But this dude's jealous.
No, I think it's more like a dance.
It's one of the dance crews. Who is it?
An all-male dance crew is like America's Got Talent has like 400 of them.
I doubt it. I think it's Thunder from Down Under.
Okay.
I guarantee it's something like that.
Okay.
That's why he's getting jealous.
I didn't even think of it that way. And if that is, then I think he's got a thunder to stand on. I do. I think he does because that is different. That is sexually charged. That's a sexually charged thing.
Yeah, but she's watching clips.
Is that his name?
care.
Is that
Would
his
you
name? I
care?
don't know his name.
Clips.
It says she follows a male dance team. So I don't know if she's going to shows
No, but she
touring?
follows on Instagram.
Yeah. She's just, or she follows them to the house.
No, follows. But if you're I follow a band, that you might go to their shows. Maybe it's a little bit more
Yeah,
than
I
just
need a
follow
clarification,
online.
but I think either way, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But
Yeah,
you do.
I agree. It's all on the phone anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's turning them, if she's getting turned up with them, it's a different story.
Is the phone on vibrate? Guys, here we go.
Next question. This one's a little turn here, but Garrett asked, "What's the rudest audience member that you have? Do you have a story about the rudest audience member you had to encounter?"
Oh, I mean, you take it away.
Instantly. When my head got split open. Did I tell that story?
Oh, we did. We told that in the Red Clay Stray one.
Yeah. My head got split open. Yeah, I've had a lot. Did I tell you about the fight at the Comedy Store? The guy,
It's not ringing a bell yet.
the Asians outside. Did I tell you
Is that a horror movie? Is that a new import horror movie? The Asians outside, or they get in the house. It's the Asians within.
It's called housekeeping.
The Asians outside. No, tell me.
No, I
Tell me the
was
story.
at the Comedy Store.
Go. Set the mood.
And-
Set it. Set the table. I
The
wanna come
Comedy
eat.
Store, there's like maybe 30 people there. And as I'm walking up to the stage, being introduced, a group of Asian kids walk out. Okay. So there's
Walk, W-O-K.
before. So before I can even say anything, this guy is sitting by himself, and there's another guy by himself, another guy. Okay, so he's sitting by himself, and he goes, "Hey, your friends just left you." I go, "What?" And he goes, "Your friends just left you."
You told
And
the story.
I did. Okay, so I
But
don't have to tell
we
this
had
again.
some great jokes in there, so we'll keep all that stuff in. Well, come on, you gotta have another one.
Go ahead, please.
I'm only thinking medical emergencies.
Well, that's not rude.
Depends who you ask. This woman had to have her, her fits during my set.
She had a seizure.
Seizure.
Oh my God!
Seizure and
What do you
assist.
do?
Well, we got her assistant. We did a seizure and assist. She passed out. She was trying to get out. The worst part was it was very funny from my angle, and I'll tell you why. Okay.
Was she having a
Because-
seizure?
Yes.
You talked to me about protecting the brand.
No. The seizure wasn't as funny, but the problem was
Joe.
the problem was she's fine, so
Yeah.
it's all okay. But she got up to excuse herself, had
Oh,
the
no.
seizure, and then fell into the aisle. So half her body was out into the aisle. So I just saw half her body out.
You just see feet.
I just said, no, her head, the top part.
Oh, no,
She
the
fell
other
into
half?
the thing. So she did that, and then she's laying out that. It was post-seizure before they turned the lights on. So she
Yeah.
had seized, and she was under seized. Steven Seagal it. She was sitting so she was there, and then they saw half her body. So I just saw everybody like, she needs help, and I just saw half her body hanging out the thing. So they got her help, and she was fine, but it was a very weird angle for only I could see from the stage.
Yeah.
So it was very bizarre, but she was fine. But I had to sit on stage during that, what do? Do you leave?
So you think that's rude?
I think it's rude to leave. Oh, no, I think it was rude that the woman did it there. She could have waited. She could have done Jiggy's set. She had to do it to her. She had to do it during the opener.
The good thing is when they come to you, right? They see a comedy show. When Jiggy's on, it becomes an escape room.
All the doors are locked behind you.
You have to wait this out. It's a Saw episode. No, that's always weird for me when you see that. I wouldn't call that rude. It's a thing I thought of when I was prompted with the question. But it could be labeled as rude.
I think like rude for me is like when you're. What happened?
It just can never be labeled as rude.
Having a seizure?
She had a medical emergency.
Right.
That's why I said, I was like, you think that's rude?
Well, yeah, it's during my time. To everybody around. You think everybody in that place is like, oh, that poor woman? Some people are like, oh, this bitch had to have it. During the thing. She couldn't wait.
It was just getting good.
Yeah, I know. Finally.
Joe was building
He's
us
in the middle
up.
of the story. Why is she? Yeah, no.
I think rude is just people that get too drunk and think they're helping. And it's not heckling. Heckling's different. Heckling is like, I'm being a jerk.
Yes, for sure.
But when you're too drunk to understand, like
The social cues to
you're
pick it
actually
up.
ruining the show, but you're too drunk to know.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like, because then it's almost like the audience turns. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
As a comic, it's like I don't even have to say a word because the audience hates you.
yeah.
They pick up on it.
Yeah.
So
We had people get thrown out of a show for having sex at a Joker show.
no.
Swear to God.
Who's banging at your show? Who's
It's very impractical. But somebody did. They were
who's
in the
getting
balcony.
horned up?
They were in, well, I mean, we're four fucking heartthrobs. we just ooze middle America sex. So we were talking about a dance squad. If you're following us.
Oh, were you guys talking about Arby's for 10 minutes? And they're like,
They got the knees. We did. So yeah, there was. We heard a ruckus. We saw the flashlights going up in the balcony, and then later we found out Jeff Johnson came and told us that they got pulled out because it got pulled out. So they got pulled out of the show. Yeah, they were having sex in the middle of the show.
That's rude.
That's rude.
I was in Columbus, and a couple left during.
Was that his name? I'm just playing a part of you in this episode.
Oh, you want to
cut that? I'll let it myself.
I was in Columbus, Ohio, at the Funny Bone, and there was a couple that got up and left during my show. And then there was a guy that came into the guy's bathroom, and Blumpkin.
Oh, in the bathroom, they're getting it on, but that's not in the theater. You can't hold them accountable for that.
No.
At least they took it out.
And they took it to the streets.
Took it to the streets.
But a Blumpkin, you know what a Blumpkin is, right?
Yeah, I thought by me going like this 3 times meant that I understood that he was getting head while he was taking his shit. But if you want me to explain it to America, I'll go ahead and do that. I will be the guy. My children listen to this podcast, okay? So, hey kids, when you're sitting on the toilet and dropping a deuce, and a lady kneels in front of you and starts to gobble is what we call a Blumpkin. Next question, Mark.
Don't you ever take that part out.
Don't you?
That would keep it in. That's great. That's great. You know what a Blumpkin is, right? Oh, we're gonna name this episode "Blumpkin Pie." Do you think the people at iHeart are like, what the fuck did we think when we signed these two?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Love you.
All right.
All right.
You can submit a question using the TalkBack app on the iHeart Media app. Well, this wasn't subtle enough that I knew what you were talking about. I was like a bobblehead.
I'm sorry.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Last question. So
Yeah,
you guys have
please.
John sent us an email.
I love Mark's setups. He's got to tell you how he got the question.
I want people to know about it. Any advice on how to come to terms mentally with the patience required to land that first job and deal with the insecurity of not feeling as mature or financially stable as your peers?
That's a tough goal. After I graduated college, I didn't have a job for quite a while. I didn't have a job, and I was living in mom's basement. And because I knew I didn't want to be an accountant, I had an accounting degree.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I was in a space where I was like, all right, what am I going to do with my life at all? I had no idea. I ended up with the consulting gig by going to a job fair. And I will say this about the job fair. The job fair was the Marriott Marquis. This is 1998, maybe 9. And I was like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? I don't know what I want to do. And I went to a job fair, and it made me realize all the jobs I didn't want.
Right.
I think that's a huge thing by process of elimination. So I would highly recommend going to a big job fair and just walking around, and it'll help you steer you in a way. Now, the rejection part of it, that's part of the game, right? You're not going to get, I mean, I can't even tell you how many things I got rejected from in my life. Not even jobs, just things that you get rejected from. So that's part of life. You got to be strong enough to do that. You just got to get through rejection. Rejection's a part of life, so you can't.
Yeah, but also he sounds young.
Yeah.
He's getting his first job. You have plenty of time to find your job, and there's so much road ahead of you. It's like you can't judge your success by others at 22, 23, 24. Yeah. It's like that's not going to happen for another 25, 30 years for you.
I'll say one thing to John I didn't like in his email, where he's saying because he's comparing himself.
Yeah.
Comparison does nothing for you.
Yeah.
Comparison's the worst thing you could do, because everybody's got their own story, their own reason.
Sure.
You know, if you just look at our different careers even, right?
Yes. You're a brand. I'm not.
Right.
Yes.
Well, no, you're a No Frills brand.
Yeah. People bang at your shows and people get Blumpkins.
The Blumpkin Tour with Steve Byrne.
Sorry.
That's so funny. Yeah, you can't compare. You can't compare the two of us. But our stories, I mean, seriously, when you started this whole thing, you moved, chased a dream, right?
Yep.
I didn't get famous until I was 34. You were doing these things since you were 21.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So like you were in the game a lot longer than I was. And I was, if you could,
And then you went,
yeah, I passed right by you is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. No, I mean, I'm making internet sketch videos when you're doing comedy tours.
right.
Look at it. Like, seriously. You think about, but the later in life, I mean, I blew you out of the water. I mean, but before, in the beginning, no, I'm just kidding. But in the beginning, I mean, like, it's literally, if I was looking, I wanted to be a comic, what
Right.
I was doing versus what you were doing were completely different. You're on the stand-up comedy tour. You're on the bus with everybody, you know, Sebastian, and, you know, you're doing that whole tour while the four of us are trying to make the next internet sketch from
yeah.
MySpace. So, like, it really, you can't compare.
No, but also like we're at least in the same field. Like, I mean, who knows what his friends are involved in? One's in finance, one's in real estate, one's, you know, who knows? It's just like,
Right.
you got plenty of time to figure it out. You got so much life in front of you. And I think if anything, if you're 22, 23, trying to figure out what your job is, all this free time you have, enjoy it. Because at some point, you're not going to have that free time. Yeah. Like when COVID hit, and I was home for like 2 months, I was like, I'm going to enjoy every second of this because this is a moment in time that will never happen again in my lifetime, ever. And I think when you're in your 20s, early 20s, it's like all that free time you have, soak it up, go to the park, go out, get bombed, have fun, wake up with a hang, you know, just all the experiences you can have. Get on a road, take a road trip, go do things, just experience as much as you can because at some point, you're gonna have to buckle down, and you don't get that freedom anymore.
For sure. So he's asking for advice on how to have the patience. Well, you have to have patience, right? I think the things that you can do is avoid pitfalls, which are comparing yourself to other friends.
Yeah.
Taking a look at where other people are, because guess what? In 5 years, they might be unemployed, and you might be 5 years into your new career. You never know how that's going to pan out. I would also say do things that make you feel good about your position. You know, keep applying for different jobs, even if the no's come in. Keep researching different ways that you could do things. Go to different networking events. I love those kind of things. Networking events, job fairs, that kind of stuff gets you in the mix. It makes you feel like you're doing something.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is feeling stagnant in anything in life. So if you feel stagnant, you feel stuck, get unstuck by doing things. Take steps. Go to job fairs, go to networking events, you could find so many bullshit networking events by Google searching anything. Everybody's throwing all these events, right? Facebook, all these groups that you could find, you could join. So I would say do that kind of stuff. That's going to help you.
But so much in business, as I've gotten older, I try to analogize those things much like a relationship, right? It's like I have to have the patience to get a job. It's like if you like a girl, you're not going to tell her you love her within the first 2 or 3 dates. It's like, relax, take your time, ease into it. Like get to know the situation, get to know yourself. Like I try to, a lot of dynamics, treat it as though I'm courting a girl, you know, and just like, be cool, just be cool, bide your time, play your cards when you want, but have security within yourself. And don't, you know, I think to rush things, again, it's just like if you were to rush things in a relationship, it's not going to work out. No. It's the same thing in life. It's the same thing in business. It's like you just take your time, relax, be cool.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself with the love of your life, right? Being married, whatnot, or you're getting a Blumpkin at a show.
I knew it was just about
And that's all the time we have, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on Two Cool Moms. We are the.
Oh, that was great.
We are two guys.
And you can find us on tour, obviously, joegatto.com.
JoeGattoOfficial.com.
JoeGattoOfficial.com.
And then Steve Byrne, you can find at punchup.live.
Unofficial JoeGatto.com.
JoeGatto.com is your website, would be hysterical. That would be the best thing you ever pulled off. You should go right now, find your own, and pay them the millions of dollars they want for it just so you can be at JoeGatto.com. I love
And put my tour dates
on
your
right,
page.
yeah. Your tour dates with my picture. So when people show up, they think it's going to be me.
Hey, this is a strange case of yin yang parmesan.
What's going on here? Yeah, so subscribe, like, share. You guys are the best. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know why you do it, but we love you for it. And I love you, Stevie.
Love you, buddy. These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.